Let's talk about your party. There are a lot in your party who don't recognize climate science or the climate reality. And do they say one thing publicly and different things privately? Or?
Well, I'm sure some of them do. Unfortunately, a lot of them say things publicly that are pretty bad. I mean, for instance, and this to me epitomizes what I think is wrong with Washington on every subject area. Everything has gotten so divisive. But after Superstorm Sandy, your Senator Boxer, said that this probably was related to climate change. I don't know exactly what language she used or how she qualified it, but you know, you can attack her on the science. You can question the conclusion that she drew. But Jim Inhofe, senator from Oklahoma, stood up and said that was immoral. Actually, it wasn't about Sandy, excuse me, it was about the Oklahoma tornadoes. Right. And he stood up and said it was immoral to have said that. That's not about morality. This is about fact. It's about science. It's about devastation, not about morality. But he made this into a moral issue. And once you do that, you can't find common ground, because if what my position is moral and you differ from me, then you're immoral.
Right.
And you don't compromise on morality. You can find consensus on a lot of things, but morality sets the bar up to a point where there's little you can do about it. And while I know there are a number of Republicans who, of course, they understand climate change and they know we need to do some things, allow themselves to be pushed around by the more vocal and extreme who tend to define the party because they're in Washington and that's where all the press is, and they get good headlines when they say things like that.
Does campaign funding have anything to do with this?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, campaign funding, finance is at the heart of a lot of the problems that we face. But you and I were talking about that earlier this morning, and I'll let the governor.
Yeah, it's just, there's a big problem. I do a lot of work with states and state legislatures. The Center for the New Energy Economy at CSU was set up sort of with the premise that Congress wouldn't act in a big way. And so let's look at states and how we can move clean energy policy at the states. And that's, and you know, there are people that disagree with some of my positions on the environmental side, because we're really trying to do state regulation of natural gas extraction in, you know, the most environmentally sound way. But I'm not out there holding a banner up that says ban fracking, because it's part of what we're dealing with. So we're working at the state level, but we see even state legislatures impacted by outside money. I think Arkansas is probably a very good example where outside money caused that legislature to become a far more conservative legislature this year, and where a lot that was happening on the clean energy side actually was dead in the water because of who the legislators were that were elected. There were still some successes, and I'm partnered up with this group called Advanced Energy Economy, a group out of San Francisco. Graham Richard, CEO, is in the front row here. And so we're working together, and we actually had some successes in spite of that, but we didn't have the big success we would have had except for the legislature turning, and that turning had to do with outside money influence.
Well, you know, there's also on the other side, just a little bit on this, these influence groups, it's both sides. As I'm on a group for setting sustainable standards for, and the highest standards we can for fracking in the Marichal Shale, and it is partially funded, it's half funded by the Heinz Foundation, half funded by the industry. Point being, I mean, in best of all possible worlds, I would wish we didn't do any fracking. We're going to. Fracking has been part of our history. You can do it right, but it seems to me the most important thing to do is to set the highest possible standards that you can for what would constitute safe fracking, since it's going to happen. And it's the environmental groups that are going nuts. And they are putting money in there. They're doing advertising. They're doing attacks on the EDF, which is one of the, Fred Krupp is one of the members of this board. And they're coming after it. And you want to say, but listen, it's going to happen. What we're doing is trying to set the highest standards for it to do it environmentally safely. Let's try to work together on this. And then if we can attack it at the other end by conservation, by having better green energy, I'm all for that. But let's not say if it's not going to be perfect, and oh my Lord, we have some of these energy industries that are part of this, therefore it can't be any good. That's as mindless, you know, and they're putting money in and they're putting pressure on too. So it is outside influence that does affect so much of this decision making, and that's problematic today. Money really does play a huge, huge role.